Hey, welcome back with Miss McCord. Today we're going to read a story called Henry and Mudge in Annie's Good by Cynthia Rylant. Pictures by Susie Stevenson. Got a table of contents. Henry and Henry's big dog Mudge always liked visits from Henry's cousin Annie. She was very careful about things like her frilly dresses and her shiny shoes, but she was fun. She liked Henry, she liked Mudge, and she could throw a mean frisbee. Who else likes to throw frisbees? So when Henry's mother said one day that Annie was moving and that she was moving next door to Henry, Henry was thrilled. "We have to help Annie move," Henry told Mudge. "You know how careful she is," Henry said. "I bet she'll be nervous." Anybody else ever feel nervous? Henry imagined Annie packing up her things. "I bet she wraps those shiny shoes a million times," Henry told Mudge. Mudge wagged. That means the dog's happy. "And those frilly dresses a zillion times," said Henry. Mudge wagged again. Turn the page. "Her house is probably a mess right now," said Henry. Mudge wagged and drooled all over Henry's shoes. "But not as much of a mess as I am," said Henry, looking down. Look at his shoes. That's a lot of drill for a dog. This one, blotchy. When Henry and Mudge and Henry's parents got to Annie's house on moving day, Uncle Ed was carrying boxes, and Annie was breaking out. "Hi, Annie," said Henry. "You're all blotchy." "I know," said Annie. "I break out when I'm nervous." They're talking about on her face. Blotches of red. "Are you nervous about leaving friends?" asked Henry. Annie nodded. "Are you nervous about changing schools?" asked Henry. Annie nodded again. "Are you nervous about all your frilly dresses and shiny shoes and lacy hankies being on that truck?" asked Henry. Annie nodded really hard. 3 new blotches came out of her nose, on her nose. Said Henry. "Do you know what I do when I get nervous?" "What?" asked Annie. "I crawl under the covers with Mudge," said Henry. "Do you have any covers left?" "No," Annie shook her head. "They're all on the truck." Said Henry. "There are some blankets on the back seat of our cat." "Do you want to use them?" Annie nodded and smiled. Henry opened the car door and Annie got under the covers. Mudge wagged and disappeared under the covers too. Henry rolled down the windows and closed the door. "Goodbye, blotches," he called, and he went to help Uncle Ed. This part is called the new house. Annie and Mudge stayed under the covers all morning long. Henry brought them food. He brought them drinks. He even brought them a moving man. Wonder why he did that. The moving man told Annie he would be very careful with her shoes and dresses and lace hankies. A few of her blotches went away. Oh, that's why he brought him. When the truck was loaded, everyone drove to Annie's new house next door to Henry's house. Then the movers started carrying the boxes in. Annie was still under the covers in the car. Henry peeked inside. She was sleeping on a lace hanky on Mudge's head. Lace hanky. That's like something that goes with the dress. When all the boxes were unloaded, the movers went away. Then Henry woke up Annie and everyone went into the new house. Annie held on to Mudge and tried not to break out. Gosh, what's going to happen? Before we unpack, said Henry's mother, we have to make a new house wish. We'll wish for something good for Annie and Uncle Ed, something good for them in their new house. Annie smiled. Great, said Henry. Henry's father lit a candle. Everyone may make a secret wish, he said. Then Annie will blow out the candle. I noticed they don't have a cake. One by one, they wished. Some wishes were big, some were small, some looked like T-bone steak, but they were all good wishes. I wonder who picked the T-bone steak. Who do you think it is? There it is. Annie blew out the candle. Welcome home, cousin, said Henry. Welcome home, Annie, said Henry's parents. Mudge gave Annie a great big kiss, and all of Annie's blotches went away. Then the next morning, Henry had breakfast at her house. Yep, so did Mudge. The end. And there's a picture of the author. She lives in Oregon with her son, Nate, and their 2 dogs and a large cat. She's always loved pets. She was raised in the country in West Virginia, surrounded by hound dogs and barn cats. When she grew up, found herself raising a boy and dogs. And that's what inspired her to write Henry and Mudge stories. That's awesome. All right, make sure you like and subscribe so you can hear more.